Collagen loss doesn't happen all at once. It slips away quietly year after year. By the time you turn 60, your body is already making nearly 30% less than it did in your youth. That's when the knees begin to ache, the skin folds deeper, and hair brushes off more easily. But here in my small village in Japan, I'm 85 years old, and I still walk to the garden each morning. My back is straight, my hands steady, and my skin soft like steamed tofu. My secret: it lives in my kitchen. 7 simple foods I've eaten nearly every day for decades. Today, I want to share them with you. Not just for your joints or your skin, but for the quiet strength that lets us age with grace. Before we begin, tell me, where are you watching from and what time is it now? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. Why collagen matters after 60. When I was younger, I never thought about the word collagen. In fact, I didn't even know what it was. But as I got older, around the age of 60, I began to feel something changing in my body. My knees would ache after gardening. My skin, once firm like mochi, started to feel loose and thin. Even the simple act of combing my hair felt different as more strands stayed behind in the brush. That was when I learned collagen is not just about looking young. It holds us together, from our joints and bones to our skin, blood vessels, even our eyes. After 60, our natural collagen production slows down so much that our body can't keep up with what it's losing. Here in Japan, we believe in noticing the small signs before they become big problems. A little stiffness in the morning, a clicking sound in the knees, skin that doesn't bounce back. These are not just old age, they are signs your body is calling for nourishment. Unlike the West, where supplements are common, we tend to turn to food first. Not pills, not powders, but real simple food that our grandmothers knew, foods that help the body make its own collagen slowly and naturally, day by day. When your joints feel lighter, when your skin feels smooth to the touch, when you wake up with strength in your hands, that is the gift of collagen. Not from a bottle, but from the bowl on your dinner table. How I started eating collagen-rich foods. I still remember the morning I knew something had changed. It was springtime. The plum trees outside were blooming, and I had just finished sweeping the garden. As I bent down to tie a string around a young plant, I felt a sharp twinge in my right knee. Just a small pain, but sharp like the snap of dry wood. That night, as I brushed my hair, I noticed more strands left behind than usual. And the mirror. The mirror showed a face that looked just a little more tired than I remembered. I wasn't sick. I wasn't old, at least not in my heart. But something in my body was whispering gently but clearly, "You're changing." That was the year I turned 45. Back then, we didn't talk about collagen. We just noticed things. My mother, who had lived through war and loss, always believed that the body speaks and food is how we answer. So I went back to her kitchen, not with fear, but with curiosity. What had she cooked that kept her walking up hills until 90? What had she eaten that gave her skin the softness of silk even with sun and age? The answer wasn't complicated. It was miso in the morning, small fish eaten whole, broth made from bones, fermented beans, seaweed soaked until tender. Nothing fancy, nothing bottled, just food that spoke the same language as the body. At first, I didn't notice big changes, but over time, one season then another, I felt lighter in the knees. My skin felt more alive. My sleep became deeper, my mornings less stiff. That's when I realized beauty isn't found in what we see, but in how we feel moving through the day. The first food: fish bone broth. When I was a little girl, I would wake up to the sound of my mother simmering something on the stove. The house smelled like the ocean, salty, warm, and full of comfort. She was making broth from fish bones, a recipe passed down through generations. At the time, I didn't know this cloudy golden liquid held so much strength. Fish bone broth is one of the quiet secrets of Japanese longevity. Unlike heavier broths made from beef or pork fish, broth is light, easy to digest, and rich in type, collagen, the kind that supports skin elasticity, bone strength, and joint mobility. It's also full of minerals like calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus that help collagen do its work inside the body. Most Americans are familiar with chicken soup, especially when sick. But in Japan, we drink broth even when we're well because it keeps us well. After I turned 50, I began making my own fish bone broth every week. I use the heads and bones of small fish, sardines, mackerel, or even salmon, and simmer them gently with a slice of ginger, a strip of kombu seaweed, and sometimes a spoon of miso. No waste, no fancy tools. Just time, patience, and respect for the food. I drink it warm in the morning, sometimes as a soup, sometimes poured over a bowl of rice. It soothes the stomach, warms the body, and gently nourishes the joints. Over the years, it became a kind of ritual, something that didn't just feed me, but cared for me. My granddaughter, when she was in her 20s, visited from the city and wrinkled her nose at the smell. "It's fishy," she said, laughing. But I poured her a small bowl, added a little yuzu zest, and told her to try just one sip. She did. The next morning, she asked for more, and now at 30, she makes her own broth every Sunday. You see, the body doesn't just need collagen, it needs help using it. Fish bone broth offers that help in a form the body understands: simple, warm, and complete. For those watching from the US, you don't need special ingredients. You can use the bones of wild-caught salmon, cod, or even halibut. Ask your local fishmonger to save you the heads and bones. Add a bit of ginger, simmer slowly, and let the broth do what it's done for centuries: heal quietly from the inside out. In our home, we say a quiet itadakimasu before each meal, not just to thank the food, but to thank the life it came from. And when I sip this broth, I remember my mother's hands stirring slowly, feeding us something far deeper than soup. The second food, natto. If you open a package of natto, the smell might surprise you. It's strong, earthy, even a little pungent. And when you stir it, long sticky strings stretch from the beans like tiny threads of silk. Many visitors to Japan hesitate at their first bite. But for me, natto is not strange. It's home. I've eaten natto since I was a child. My father used to ferment it himself in wooden boxes wrapped in straw. Each morning, he would place a small bowl on my tray, topped with chopped scallions and a little soy sauce. Back then, I didn't know it was a treasure. I just knew it tasted like comfort. Now science has caught up with tradition. Natto is one of the richest plant-based sources of vitamin K2, which plays a powerful role in collagen metabolism. It helps guide calcium into bones instead of arteries, keeping them strong and elastic. Two things that matter more and more as we age. Natto also contains nattokinase, an enzyme that supports blood flow and cardiovascular health, making it a quiet guardian for aging bodies. But more than any vitamin or enzyme, natto gives the body something deeper: balance. As we grow older, digestion becomes more delicate. Fermented foods like natto support the gut, which is where nutrient absorption and collagen production really begins. When the gut is strong, the skin glows, the joints move with ease, the mind stays sharp. I eat natto every morning mixed with a raw egg and a bit of mustard. It's not glamorous, but it's faithful. And in my 85 years, it has never failed me. Of course, not everyone enjoys the texture at first. Even my daughter-in-law wrinkled her nose. "It's like glue," she said. But after watching me eat it day after day with energy in my steps and color in my cheeks, she gave it another try. Now she eats it 3 times a week. If you're curious, start small. You can find natto in many Asian markets in the U.S., often in the frozen section. Stir it well to activate the enzymes. Add soy sauce, mustard, or even avocado. Let your body adjust. In Japan, natto is not a health trend. It's a tradition. And traditions, when rooted in care, become healing. I've always believed that aging doesn't mean shrinking, it means deepening. Natto has been one of the quiet foods that helped me feel strong in my bones, soft in my skin, and light in my steps. The third food, miso. Every morning in my home begins with a bowl of miso soup. It's not fancy. Just warm broth, a few cubes of tofu seaweed, and sometimes slices of daikon or green onions. But it's more than a meal, it's a ritual, a rhythm that grounds the day. When I was a girl, miso soup was the first thing we learned to make. My mother would tell me, if you can make good miso, you can take care of your family. I didn't understand then how deeply true that was. Miso is a fermented paste made from soybean salt and a koji starter sometimes mixed with rice or barley. It's full of flavor, yes, but also full of life. Through fermentation, miso becomes rich in amino acids, the very building blocks your body needs to make collagen. One amino acid in particular, proline, is key to keeping skin smooth, joints supple, and bones strong. And unlike supplements, these nutrients in miso come wrapped in natural enzymes and probiotics that help your body absorb them gently and effectively. But there's something else about miso, something that goes beyond science. Here in Japan, we have a concept called shokuiku. It means food education, but not in the way of textbooks or charts. It's about learning through doing, understanding how food connects with the seasons, with our families, and with our bodies. Miso is one of the first teachers in this quiet education. It teaches patience because fermentation takes time. It teaches respect because every bowl carries the work of microbes, farmers, and tradition. And it teaches care because it nourishes not only our bodies but our spirit. As I grew older, I realized how miso supported me in small but powerful ways. During the cold months, it warmed my belly and hands. When I felt tired, it gave me gentle energy. When my digestion slowed, it helped reset my balance. And as collagen production declined with age, the amino acids in miso kept my skin and joints feeling more alive. Many Americans think of soup as something to start a meal. But in Japan, miso soup is the meal, especially in the morning. It wakes the body, softens the mind, and prepares us for the day. If you want to try, choose a high-quality unpasteurized miso, white miso for a lighter taste, or red miso for something deeper. Don't boil it, or you'll lose the good bacteria. Just stir it gently into warm water or broth and add a few simple ingredients. Seaweed, tofu, scallions, nothing complicated. The fourth food. Small whole fish. They may be tiny, but they carry strength beyond their size. In Japan, we often eat fish, whole bones, skin, and all. Shirasu, whitebait sardines, anchovies, and baby mackerel are served as they are lightly cooked or dried and sprinkled over rice salad or miso soup. It may seem unusual, even a bit strange to some, but these small fish are one of the most powerful foods for aging bodies. Why? Because the parts we usually throw away, bone, skin, and connective tissue, are exactly where collagen lives. When you eat the whole fish, you get not just protein, but also type I, collagen, calcium, phosphorus, and omega-3 fatty acids. This combination nourishes the bone, supports joint flexibility, and helps the skin retain its elasticity. It's food that speaks directly to the needs of someone in their 60s, 70s, or 80s. I remember when I was a child, my mother would toast tiny dried sardines in a pan and toss them with soy sauce and sesame seeds. I'd eat them like snacks, crunchy and salty. I didn't know I was feeding my future bones. Now, as an old woman, I thank her every time I can still carry a bucket of water or climb the stairs without aching. What makes small fish so special is how simple they are. No complicated cooking, no need for heavy sauces. You can buy dried shirasu or sardines from an Asian market and sprinkle them over warm rice, or simmer fresh baby fish in broth with ginger and soy for a comforting dish. Even canned sardines work as long as you choose ones packed in water or olive oil without too many additives. The key is to eat the fish whole, not filleted, not stripped. Just as they are tiny, complete, full of the very things our bodies forget to make as we age. I once served grilled baby mackerel to a visiting friend from the US. She hesitated. "Do I eat the bones too?" she asked. I smiled and nodded. "Yes, that's where the strength is." She tried one, then another. By the end of the meal, she asked me where to buy more. These small fish are humble, but they offer something no supplement can: food that's alive, real, and full of life's wisdom. In Japan, we believe that strength doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's found in the quietest bites. A handful of tiny fish. A moment of stillness at the table. A body that moves without pain. The fifth food: seaweed. When I open the cupboard in my kitchen, there is always a jar filled with dried seaweed. Kombu, wakame, hijiki, each one with its own texture, color, and taste. To me, seaweed is like an old friend, one that has supported my health quietly for decades. It may surprise you, but seaweed is a rich source of nutrients that help your body produce collagen, not by supplying collagen directly, but by feeding the processes that make it. Inside those silky green strands are amino acids like glycine and proline, key building blocks your body uses to form collagen. Seaweed is also full of iodine, magnesium, and antioxidants, all of which support your thyroid and metabolism, helping your skin regenerate and your energy stay balanced as you age. But seaweed doesn't just work on the inside. In Japanese culture, it represents harmony. It floats flexible and soft, yet it survives powerful waves. We often say, "Be like seaweed, bend with the current, but do not break." I think of this every time I slip wakame into my soup or soak hijiki for a salad. I remember during the cold winters, my mother would make kombu dashi, a broth made from soaking thick kelp overnight, then gently warming it the next morning. She used it in everything: miso soup, simmered vegetables, even to steam rice. The taste is subtle, but it's the quiet base of nearly every meal we cook. As I aged, I found seaweed became more important. My digestion slowed, and my joints needed more care. Unlike meat or heavy foods, seaweed is easy on the stomach and full of fiber, helping keep everything moving. It supports gut health, and that means better absorption of the nutrients that build collagen from within. One of my favorite dishes is simple miso soup with tofu and wakame. It takes 5 minutes to prepare, yet it fills me with strength that lasts all morning. If you're in the US, you can find dried seaweed in most Asian markets. Look for kombu for broths, wakame for soups, and nori for snacks or wrapping rice. Just soak in warm water for a few minutes to rehydrate. No need for fancy recipes, just let it soften and add it to whatever you're already cooking. Some of my American friends are surprised that something so dark and slippery can be so healing. But I always tell them sometimes the ocean gives us gifts not wrapped in bright colors, but wrapped in wisdom. Seaweed may not have a loud taste, but it carries a quiet strength that speaks to the bones, the skin, and the heart. The sixth food: soft-boiled eggs. There is something deeply comforting about a soft-boiled egg. The kind where the white is just set and the yolk is golden and warm like morning sun held in a spoon. In Japan, we call it hanjuku tamago. It's a staple in many homes, often served with rice, soy sauce, or a splash of dashi. It may look simple, but inside that soft center is a quiet source of strength, especially for aging bodies. Eggs are naturally rich in proline, an amino acid the body uses to build collagen. The yolk contains biotin, a vitamin essential for healthy skin, hair, and nails. Together, they form a kind of harmony, nourishing both the raw materials and the spark needed for the body to maintain its structure. As we age, our skin thins, our nails grow brittle, and our hair becomes sparse. These changes aren't just signs of aging, they're signs that the body's collagen production is slowing. Soft-boiled eggs offer a gentle way to support that process, one spoonful at a time. I remember my husband used to crack a soft egg over his bowl of rice every morning. He'd stir it in with a little soy sauce and eat slowly, gratefully. Even in his 70s, his hair stayed full and his joints remained strong. I used to joke that it was the eggs that kept him steady on his feet. Many people worry about cholesterol, but in Japan, we see the whole food, the balance, not just the number. One soft-boiled egg a day, especially when eaten as part of a traditional plant-rich meal, can be a gentle ally in the aging journey. If you're trying this at home, here's a simple way. Bring water to a gentle boil, lower your egg in, and simmer for exactly 6-12 minutes. Then place it in cold water to stop the cooking. Peel carefully. What you hold in your hand is not just a food, it's care wrapped in a shell. The seventh food, Kantan jelly. After a meal, I like to enjoy something light, a small bite that feels like a reward but also supports the body. For that, I often turn to a quiet treasure from the sea kantan. Kantan is a type of jelly made from red algae, also known as agar. It's been used in Japan for centuries, not just as a dessert base, but as a health food. It looks delicate, clear, soft, and trembling, but inside it carries a quiet strength. Unlike animal-based gelatin, kantan contains no fat or cholesterol. It's rich in soluble fiber, which helps cleanse the digestive tract and support gut health. And as we've spoken about before, collagen begins in the gut. When digestion is smooth and absorption is strong, the body can build what it needs: stronger skin, healthier joints, brighter eyes. What makes kantan special for seniors is how gentle it is. It doesn't spike blood sugar, it doesn't upset the stomach. It helps you feel satisfied and nourished without heaviness. I often make mine with green tea and a touch of honey poured into small cups and left to set at room temperature. Sometimes I add bits of fruit persimmon in the fall, strawberry in spring. Just a few spoonfuls after lunch feels refreshing, like a small pause for the soul. I remember one winter afternoon, my neighbor came over looking tired. Her joints had been aching, and she hadn't been sleeping well. I poured her a cup of warm tea and offered her some kantan with grated yuzu peel on top. After a few bites, she closed her eyes and smiled. "This feels like kindness," she said. That's what I think food should be, kindness. Not just to the tongue, but to the body, to the cells, to the quiet parts of us that carry age. In the US, you can find kantan or agar powder in health food stores or Asian markets. It sets without refrigeration, holds its shape without additives, and can be flavored however you like: matcha, cinnamon berries, even a little coconut milk. It's a way to enjoy something sweet without sugar ruling the plate. Kantan may not have the flash of Western desserts, but it holds something deeper: the grace of simplicity, the strength of the sea, and the quiet support your body deserves. Now that I've shared all 7 of my collagen-supporting foods I've eaten almost every day for decades, I hope you feel inspired not just to eat differently, but to care for yourself more gently. As I look back on these 7 foods, I don't see recipes, I see memories. Each bowl of broth, each spoonful of natto, each soft-boiled egg. They are not magic, but they are medicine in the quietest sense. They've helped me move with less pain, rest, with more peace, and age with dignity. My hope is not to tell you what to eat, but to show you what's possible. Even with small changes, even with simple foods, your body can respond with softness, strength, and life. So, which one will you try first? I'd love to know. Please share in the comments. I truly enjoy hearing your stories. And remember, health information on YouTube is not one size fits all, and this is not medical advice. If you have concerns about your health, please talk to your doctor or visit a clinic. And if you think you may be having a medical emergency, call your doctor or local emergency number immediately. Thank you for spending this time with me. May your days be long, your meals be warm, and your steps be steady. Until next time, from my little home in Japan to wherever you are, I send you peace and strength.